Hey guys, Dr. P here, and today what I've got for you is another Fortnite Battle Royale video. Now, in today's video, I have a pretty insane theory to lay on you, something that I think is extremely well thought out, and I definitely want to get your feedback on it. Make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you like what you see and you want to see more, and turn on notifications if you want to be notified each and every time I upload a video, and to make sure you're not missing out on anything. So, as you guys know, this past Sunday we had the butterfly event, the cube event, whatever you want to call it, but we had the huge event that we had been waiting for a very long time at Loot Lake. Loot Lake got transformed, the map got cleared of all the evil, just a whole bunch of stuff went down. I saw a particularly interesting theory on Reddit that I definitely thought was worth a read, and I thought it was worth a share, so that's what I'm going to do right here in this video. Bear in mind that this isn't confirmed or anything, but I think this makes a lot of sense, and it's just that, a theory. But, of course, be sure to let me know what you guys think about it. You can disagree or agree, just whatever you're feeling. I'd love to respond to you and spark up a conversation in my comment section. So, without any further ado, here it is. It's by user Switch98, and it's kind of long, so just bear with me. He starts out by saying, an hour before the rocket launch took place back in Season 4 for the rocket event, if you'll remember, and you were there, you'll remember that there was actually a beam of light, a yellow beam of light right over the villain's base that just stood there for a while before the rocket actually launched. Now, the theory here is during the butterfly event, we were transported inside of that beam of light. And the beam of light represents a split reality, two alternate timelines. The two different timelines are one in which the player reaches out and touches the butterfly, and one where he does not. I mean, think about it. During the event, it was definitely something bad that was going on with the cube. It was destructive, it was getting, unstable, as Fortnite was tweeting out many times, and it was destined to do something bad, and sure enough, it exploded, and the explosion was so strong that it transported all of the players to somewhere strange, the butterfly dimension as I like to call it. In terms of Fortnite's actual story, as soon as we were all transported to that place, it was not looking good. It was looking bleak. I mean, I thought we had all died and gone to some kind of afterlife, but clearly, whatever it was, something did not look right. Something that did not feel right, and you could feel something was off. The music, all the audio was definitely playing, kind of off the whole mysterious, kind of creepy tone. But then, something came in, something formed. It was a butterfly that came, flew right up to us, and the second the butterfly actually got close to the player, the music changed. It was getting a little bit more cinematic. It felt like, something good might finally happen, the tides might turn. And then once the butterfly got on the player's hand, everything got quiet. You heard a click, and everything was back to normal. We all got teleported back to the map. Basically, all the evil that was Kevin the Cube had been erased from the map. And there's even now a massive rainbow over Leaky Lake to symbolize a change in regime. Something big has happened. If it wasn't for that butterfly, I dare say maybe all the players would have been trapped there forever in some kind of alternate reality. But it definitely looks like this butterfly was kind of the saving grace that helped everybody get rid of the evil in the game. Imagine if the butterfly did not exist. Imagine if it hadn't come to the aid of everyone trapped in that reality. At that point, I feel like Kevin the Cube's mission would have succeeded. But good prevails always, and somehow something formed that butterfly, and it not only returned us to the mainland, but also got rid of all the evil. There wasn't a whole lot said about that light that formed over the rocket when it was about to launch back in Season 4, and a lot of people might just say, yeah, it was just an indicator to tell people where to go. Well, if that was the case, why wouldn't they do it again for this event we just had with the cube and the butterfly? It seems like if they were going to do it once, they might as well just do it again. I mean, it's not like anybody had any trouble figuring out where the rocket was. I mean, it was a pretty big part of Season 4 in the storyline, so people knew where it was. There was a point of having that light over the rocket, and I feel like this has a very good chance to be that reason. If you still don't believe me, if that theory still doesn't tie everything together, the biggest factor that links these two events is the fact that, quite simply, they are the only two one-time in-game events that Fortnite has popularized and Fortnite has announced, and that we've actually had in the game. And honestly, that rocket launch was kind of like the catalyst of every single thing that's been happening in the whole Fortnite Season 6, storyline, even Season 5 and 4. If it wasn't for the rocket launch, we wouldn't have gotten the rift in the sky, and if it wasn't for the rift, we wouldn't have gotten the cube, and if it wasn't for the cube, we wouldn't have gotten the floating island, and so on and so forth. So for all the reasons I've said earlier in this video and previously, I do feel like, because these two events are literally the only one-time in-game events that we've had in the game, and because that, everything kind of makes sense, it ties together. I mean, we get transported to a place that is so light and almost like heavenly, we have no idea where we are. But if you look at the other one-time event we had in-game, there was a beam of light, a very bright light, very similar to the bright area we went into for the event earlier this week. I believe the split timelines theory is a very, very good one. If you consider what's been going on in Fortnite over the past couple months, it's been evil. I mean, Kevin has been destructive. Not only did he run things over en route to Loot Lake the first time, but then he made Loot Lake bouncy. He would always shoot back at players if you shot him. He ripped the island up out of Loot Lake, made all of those rune sites. Just overall, it seemed like his intentions, or whoever's intentions that was controlling him, were extremely negative and detrimental to the game. It seems like Kevin's final explosion might have been a last-second effort, the final stand, to try and cause some serious damage to the map, and maybe lock away the players for good. But then, almost as it looked like it was over, a magical butterfly formed and transported everyone back, and also fixed the whole map and deleted Kevin for good. There was a specific party, there was for sure someone in my mind that was behind the formation of that butterfly, and I have another theory, kind of like a theory in a theory that I want to lay on you. So if we're assuming someone was the responsible party for saving everyone and getting that butterfly in there, then my best guess is it's the Visitor. If you consider the fact that the first event with the rocket was literally the Visitor's rocket and him taking off in it, and then consider the fact that in the second event we had, supposedly we were at the bright light that was over the villain's base before the rocket launch. And then you finally add in the addition of sounds, rocket launch sounds, that were inside of the butterfly dimension during the cube event. At least that's what it sounds like, and that's what a lot of people have been reporting, that it sounds a lot like the Visitor and the rocket launch sequence in there. It really starts to add up and, in my mind, makes some decent sense. Another point I want to bring up that's worth noting about this theory is if it's true, that means we would be time traveling. The cube would have sent us back in time. If we were going to the bright light and that is where we went, then we did go back in time. We went back to Season 4. What would be the point of that though? Well, maybe the rocket launch was the very moment that we touched the butterfly. And maybe the countdown that we keep hearing in the background of the event was the countdown that we saw on the screens for the event back in Season 4. So maybe now the Visitor's actual plan and the reason why he came here from the comet is starting to make a little bit more sense. The Visitor knew that he was needed to help save the world. So he caught a ride here onto Earth and broke out of the meteor halfway through Season 4. He went and launched the rocket, knowing well ahead that that single action would be the action that would save everyone eventually. And if all that's true, that would mean somehow, some way, we're kind of caught in a time loop. If the Visitor is launching the rocket and then we're going and touching the butterfly, it seems like that would kind of go back and forth. If we're time traveling and constantly going back, it seems like it would have to be in a loop. So I'm curious, what does all this mean? And of course, just remember, all of this is me theorizing about this, but gee, I think it makes a whole lot of sense. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I would really appreciate it if you could leave your thoughts, your feedback, your comments in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to respond to as many as I can. Rest assured though, even if I don't respond, if you're typing something in the comments, I am 100% reading it. If you want to get in touch with me and really get in touch with me, the #1 way to do it though is on my Twitter. I'm at Dr. Pineapplez. I'll link it below. Hit me up on there and follow me. I do occasional giveaways. I always interact with my fans. And it's just generally a good thing to be doing if you love Fortnite. Thanks so much for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed the video, and if you made it all the way to this point in the video, comment down below pickle, just the word pickle, and I'll know you stuck around all the way into the end. If you're buying V-Bucks at any point soon, be sure to use my support a creator code. It's PineapplezYT, and be sure to tweet me proof after you do so I can hit you with that follow. I'll catch you in the next video, and until then, peace out.